Hello, and today we're going to talk about Tower of God New World. It's the third one? What? Okay, let me stop. But today we're going to talk about the progress of the game and how it's been going throughout the year 2024. The good, the bad, the ugly, the complaints, what people think is overhyped and not, and where I think the game is going in the future. It's been a busy year. A lot of things has been happening. A lot of people are complaining, rightfully so. So I'll just get with the complaints out of the way. And I think that a lot of complaints to do with character dupes and progression system is definitely one of the things that's really, really annoying. Specifically because the game is so dupe reliant, especially with the introduction of the revolutionary system. Revolution? I don't know. You get what I mean, right? So, if you guys don't know, if you pick a character, I'll just pick Yole, for example. Not only do you have the pockets, in which the more dupes you have, the more stats you get, you know, which is really good. Obviously, you want that. Also, the thing is, if you get full rainbow, you get 500 energy, which is really good, which makes you get your ult quicker. And normally your ult is obviously really good. You want to, for most characters, you want to spam that as quickly as possible. So having that extra boost is huge, okay? But not only that, but they introduced a revolutionary system, which you get more passives based on how many more dupes you have. So to get this, you need like 19 dupes or something, and then you need like 21 dupes for this. You gotta get a full rainbow to get this thing. Same with this as well, which is crazy. So before it used to be where getting a rainbow is big, but it's still like the craziest thing. But now you kind of do want to get a rainbow because you get the revolutionary passive to make your character even stronger or use it to their full potential. Which is kind of sad because the way they quoted it before, it was just as a way to get older units, like, Wang Nang, my goat, I love him, and like other characters like Bong, who's already strong, but to make them even stronger, or make characters that weren't viable again, or make characters that were really broken usable again. Fan favorites like Ihua and Hatsu. But ever since they added it to the SSR Plus character category, and they're giving revolutions to every new character that comes out, it means that if you want to use that new character the way that it's intended, you got to get a Revolutionary 6, which is kind of crazy because you need 21 dupes. So before, where I used to be like, okay, you want to get a unit, you want to maximize as much as possible, but if you don't have the rainbow, that's okay. Well, obviously you want them rainbowed, but you can still use them without them being rainbowed. We're at the point of the game where, especially with the higher floors, where like the deficit is so crazy, they kind of do want to get them rainbowed. Like, okay, this is not even, look at this. This is not even like the worst deficit possible too. Okay, and even then it's like the power level gap is crazy. Which is kind of like the thing that makes me really upset because while the rates are a bit better than most mobile games, because most of the time it's like, damn, it's raining, 0.3%, 0.1%, and everything like that. Now the rate for this game is like, what, 4% here, and then 2% for the black market tickets. And I'm not gonna lie, I get really bad luck with black market tickets. Like 2%, which is a lot better than most games, but you need 21 dupes. And the only way to get black market tickets is the trials. And you can get them through adventure, but you gotta do like what, 60 like stages to get two multis. That's crazy. That's nothing, especially when it takes so much time to get through a floor, because the power level gets increasingly harder and harder. That it's like by the time you reach the floor, you get two multis. That's nothing. That's literally nothing, right? And throughout the week, if I'm being honest, if you've been chilling AFK playing the game passively, you can probably get to like maybe two multis a week, which seems like a lot for black market tickets specifically. But does it matter when you need 21 dupes for one character? If they release a unit every month, meaning that if you're well, it doesn't really matter. But for most people, you're not going to be able to get most of these units unlocked anyways. You can probably get one copy of each unit relatively easily, but at the end of the day, would rather have one dupe for one unit or rainbow another unit. You want the rainbow if you want to progress through the story. So that's the thing that's really, really annoying. But also, the way that they advertised it, it seemed like before it used to be the SSRs were the units to go, right? But with the units have been releasing, and the SSR units that are just so broken compared to the SSR units, they just aren't the same. Also, it doesn't help that like the SSR units don't get as much stats for the revolution, so they're not as strong. So, for example, if you look at Kun, the latest character, and we look at his revolution over here, you can see he only goes up to 10, right? Only goes up to 10. The max is 10. Okay, I can tell you that for a fact. I don't know what I'm pressing this, but it goes up to 10. If you look at preview, it goes up to 10 right here. Okay, you look at SSR plus characters, and they go to plus 20. Plus 20, meaning that they have better stats, that is stronger, just period, right? So we're at the point where before, SSR characters like Hua was like a really good carry. Hua was like one of my favorite units, and they'd be really strong. But now, not as strong anymore. As I said Hua, like I'm touching Yeon. I meant like, well, I like Yeon too. She's my baby. Okay, but either way, it's to the point where because you fight SSR plus characters and you're using SSRs, they're just not strong anymore, and they're trying to distinguish a quality between the SSR pluses and the SSRs. So there's a clear quality drop either way. So you have a quality drop and the stats aren't as strong, meaning that the SSRs aren't as valuable anymore. At this point, I wouldn't really even save SSR tickets. I would just go here, pick some units that you think is kind of useful. I can make another video about why SSR units are still useful and still good until you start grinding up your SSR pluses. But that's what they are. SSR are there to fill your team. Or if you need a unit, you get an SSR that's relatively okay. I mean, obviously there's a few exceptions, like Princess Anak is insanely broken. But for the most part, the units that you really want to aim for is SSRs, pluses, and they're so hard to get. You don't get as much resources. And they drop them every month, so you'll never get what you want. So this game now prioritizes dupes on one character over getting all the characters that you want to play, which is a little sad in my opinion. But at the same time, if we go and look at the reverse of it, this is not something that is unexpected. In fact, it happens in many gacha games when they first start. If you look at Dokkan, they just had regular SSRs units, right? And then TURs, but TURs weren't even like Dokkan Fest TURs, they were just regular TURs. Until like years later, I think the first one was like was it SSJ3 Goku? I think it was SSJ3 Goku. It was like the first like Dokkan Fest. And then same thing with Legends. You had like the regular. Everybody thought that the units that would drop were like the regular ones, were like the cool ones. And then they released Legends Limited, and then after Legends Limited, that became like the featured unit. And then after that, we have special extra unit with Ultras, right? Same thing with here. You start off with the regular SSRs. Okay, we thought that was the main thing, and now it turns out the main thing is the SSR plus characters. So what that means is, for those units, in my opinion, you shouldn't go and try and rainbow every single unit that comes out. Play like you would play like another regular gacha game, right? You come up, you look, you wait until the character that you really want, you save up for that unit, and then you just go all in to get them rainbowed. You shouldn't go and try and get like one dupe, two dupes of every single unit. For SSRs, it doesn't really matter once you've got your core units. But for SSR pluses, you should probably save up for them, right? The best way to know if they're really good, one, if it's a really high character from the story, from Tower of God. If you don't read the manga or the webtoon, then I would suggest waiting for a preview trailer. Once you have a preview trailer, it means they want you to get it. Chomore had a preview trailer. He's the best character in the game. I don't even have him maxed, and he's like one of my best units in the game. Then same thing with White. White had a trailer, and he's insanely broken. Bomb 2, the new unit that came out, he's good. He's pretty underrated. He's actually pretty good. He is really good. He's underrated, but still. He's also really good too. So that's the way that I would look at my units. And that's when it comes to SSR plus SSR that really kind of bothers me. Also, they did kind of fix this a little bit too, but they did give out more the resources to level up to get your levels up is insane. Okay, so look at this. Okay, 170 million. That's crazy for like, okay, To put it in perspective, I used to be before. Okay, when you start the game, at first it's like you have a bunch of these. You need these, like on the left, like the EXP thing. That's why you need the EXP, right? And then after a certain point, you have too much EXP, and then you need the Shinsu, like the blue things, right? And that's what you're running out of. It's still the same thing way here, but now I'm at the point where I need both of them consistently, and they're so expensive. At some point, I'm going to run out of money too. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I guess they did kind of improve it recently with the archive, so we'll have to see after a couple of months to see if like these are actually good. But this helped a lot. I will not lie. So and that's pretty good. But if you look at events, for example, okay, we look at these. I mean, it's the same old, right? You have one of these, you complete them, you exchange out the shop. You know, there's a few mini games, but you only get these and these, and I guess you get Revolution stuff, which is really cool, and you get a free SSR dupe. Wow, that's so cool. But apart from that, like you don't get black market tickets, which is what we really need for the game. But I will say, the game is pretty free to play friendly if you use your game correctly. I feel like people have been playing for a long time, are getting upset with the dishes Netmarble has been making, but they haven't been making that much apart from the revolutionary system and them releasing more SSR pluses. So in my opinion, the best way they could like focus on to make the game a little bit better at the very least is give out more black market tickets. Don't increase the rates. They decided. No, it's kind of funny. They were like, okay, we're gonna like give you guys more resources and whatever. And people are complaining about the SSR pools, being like it's really hard to get some of the SSR units, and that's true. But at the end of the day, do you really care if you don't dupe out Miseng? Like, do you really care? No, really, you shouldn't. You should be trying to focus on getting these SSR plus units because that's where the game is at right now. Like to the point where if you don't have a carry, because carries with SSRs doesn't really make any sense because they have lower stats. You want to carry from an SSR plus unit. So for example, White, you want White duped out, you know, and you don't get that many tickets because they don't give them to you as much. So that's my complaint with the game in terms of like dupes and black market tickets. But like I said before, it's kind of you gotta find the right balance, right? Because I feel like people are just really upset and really complaining about it all of a sudden and getting irrationally upset. When people gotta remember that this is a gacha game and it's also an AFK game. It's not like Dokkan Battle or like I don't know, Brave Frontier. Brave Frontier, okay. Or like Dokkan Battle or Legends or Treasure Cruise or whatever type of gacha game you play, where there's end game content. The content is the same, right? The content after reaching a certain level, you've unlocked everything, and because you've unlocked everything, you don't have to like. It doesn't really matter if you're on floor 60 compared to floor 90, apart from you dish out less numbers. But who cares, bro? You can still do every single content that someone's level 100, right? And so, once you reach the top floor of the adventure or the top floor of trials, does it matter? Does it genuinely matter? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because you just reached everything that you need to, right? So I was like, did I miss something from my guild? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you dish out 100k or 1 billion k. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the content that you can do now, apart from being at a higher floor or a higher trials, is the same. I try to counteract that by having, like little alliance battles to make alliance events, which is kind of cool, and PvP. I'm not really a big PvP fan, but I think at this point, like you shouldn't really feel so like upset and stressed out because you're not in a higher floor, because it doesn't really matter, because it's like you being in a higher floor means nothing apart from you get more resources so you can summon more. But getting dupes on a game, that doesn't really matter if you get dupes or not because there's no end game content, means that it doesn't really matter. Now, complaining about end game content could be a video within itself, but if we do have end game content, I think that will do more harm than good, because then there'll be an actual reason to like be upset about the game. Because if like if like there's an end game content that you want to do but you can't do it because you're too low of a floor, and the only way to get to higher floors is to have like higher duped out everything, that'll be kind of bad. But at this point, it doesn't matter if you're on floor 30 or floor 60. So don't like stress yourself out thinking that you need to be on the higher floor when you don't really need to. Which is like one of my biggest things. with this game, because at the end of the day, this game isn't really a game they should play hardcore. You know, you wake up one day, oh, I have free time. Let me just crank this shit out. Let me just go here on auto and just call it a day. Should I just like do this while I speak about the game? Um, that's my whole thing. Also, you gotta remember that in this game specifically, dang, that's my thought. Oh, look at this. Honestly, this team is really good. This is my, if you want to copy a good team, this will be a good one. Okay, this is a sidetrack thing. Okay, but we got Trauma right here. He takes out the shield. Trauma is really good. Buffs the attack, everything, and then Ghosty over here just buffs White, and then White will kill everything, and then Anak is there for protection, and then he was the one that I put in there. Someone else is there for something, but yeah, courtesy of Citizen, they helped me out with this team, so this is a shout out to them. But yeah, going back to the topic on hand, people are just like very very upset, complaining about the Christmas event, or like, which is it's kind of weird because most games aren't very Christmassy related, right? Apart from like Dokkan Battle, I guess, but like Legends doesn't have anything too crazy, and this game has a little Christmas event at the very least. And also, we're gonna get a gift of 5 SSR units, SSR plus units, I think, and maybe Trauma Ray if people voted correctly. So I just hope that you guys voted correctly, because that would be great. I kind of really do want some stuff. But yeah, this game. My biggest overall takeaway from this, if you want to recap, is that we need more resources, I think, and also getting more resources for the level ups is really important. And you shouldn't take this game too seriously and too hardcore, because this game isn't a game you're supposed to go hardcore for, right? Unless if you really wanna, if you can't live without being number one in your server, I guess, and I guess you want to, well, then sure, but there isn't any need for you to be maxed out, duped out, if anything, because you'll just like, if anything, you'll just get, if you play long enough, you'll get your units rainbowed. If you do your dailies, you do your trials, specifically your trial. If you do your fucking trial, do your trials. I don't care if you do your trials, okay? The colored ones and non-colored ones. If you do your trials and you do your adventures casually, you'll get your characters like rainbowed at some point. Just don't expect to be able to rainbow every single unit or get every single unit meta, right? A lot of the SSRs too, I will say, which is really good with the game, is that I got a lot of these SSRs rainbow just from playing the game. I didn't really like invest in them. I just got them rainbow just from like doing the regular multis and just doing all the events. Like, I don't think I've spent money on any SSR units. I got most of them rainbow just from AFK, which is really really good. Which is what I think this game doesn't get enough credit for that. But I really don't like the fact that they're making SSR plus units every single month, and they're not giving out the resources for you to be able to rainbow them. Because realistically, I think if you play the game free to play for like a year, you'll probably get like 1 or 2 rainbow, or maybe 3 if you're lucky. But it's not enough, especially when you get 12, or maybe if you, or close. I'm probably even close to 20 now, because I think we've gotten like 2 SSR pluses a month recently, which is insane. So yeah, we don't have enough resources for the amount of content that they're releasing. And it's cool because for free to whale players, because I'm sure they'll spend all the money for it, but for free to play players, it's frustrating because you want to be able to get the units that are really high, but you can't, because if you do, you won't be able to rainbow them if you keep summoning on all the units that you want. So that's the whole thing about this. Whoa, low key. This yeah. See, like, but yeah. Don't feeling discouraged about it. And the way the game, where I think the game is going, there's a lot of characters that they can release. There's Yama that people have been talking about. There's Dawn that they've been talking about, which is really really cool. What I really really want to see specifically, I want to see Red Bull, the guy Enryu. I want to see Enryu, and I want to see like, I don't want them to release a family head for a while. I want the family head to be like an anniversary thing, because, oh yeah, talking about family heads, the Trauma Ray thing is kind of BS too. The fact that you get like a 0.01% chance of getting him on the black market tickets, and only the black market tickets, is criminal. That's so stupid. People who haven't gotten Trauma will never get him. Is basically what you're trying to tell me, because the rates for that is way too low. It's way too low. It's stupid. But But I will say they have gotten better with the whatchamacallit, I'm blanking out. With the login bonuses, because the SSR event or the SSR Plus event is actually really really cool. Getting SSR Plus a day and then SSR Plus every 5 days for like 2 or 3 months is really really good. Helped my account a lot. Helped free to play players a lot. But I think they could be doing a little bit better, personally. But I think the game is still really fun. Like the game has a lot of mechanics, a lot of strategy mechanics, right? It's like 50 billion ways to increase your stats. There's 50 billion ways to get resources, even though the resources that I just don't care about. For example, like the essence is really cool. Yeah, so there's lots of cool things you can do with this game, and I love this game quite a lot. I just think that they could do some improvements, obviously. But I don't want this to be like a negative video because I really do like this game. The animations are really good, and compared to other gacha games, it is a lot more free to play friendly than people think. Because okay, you have 5 free multis, okay, and then you get, if you do your dailies, you have 3 regular summon tickets. So in 3 or 4 days, you can do a multi, okay, and that's excluding events, because you have the 5 multi, okay. Okay. Then you have the 3 single summon tickets. You get one from the no two. No, 3. You have one for the Guardian, one for the finishing your dailies, and then one for the shop. You get one free ticket for the shop every single day. So you get 3 of these, okay? And then if you do once a week, if you do the secret floor thing for the ignition weapons, you can get like maybe 6 black market tickets a week. And then that's excluding the trials they do throughout that week, and then you also get some for your story mode, right? So you get a lot of resources, but the thing is, your units are rainbow heavy, and also you need them to be It's like 2%, so the likelihood of you getting a rainbow is really low. But either way, that's my spiel for the day. I hope you have. Well, today's the 24th, so I hope you have a Merry Christmas. If you guys don't see it today, or see it tomorrow. But yeah, have a good one. I'm not sure. I might just like, if you just put this in the background and just like auto farm. But yeah, thank you people. Oh, yeah, thank you for people who subscribed. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm trying. This is gonna be like, this is my side channel. I have another one, but this is gonna be where I just dump whatever I want and feel like. So it's probably not just gonna be tarot card content, just like things that I want to complain and rant about. But yeah, thank you. Peace out.